everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm going to show you how to make this absolutely stunning wreath gift box. It's just turned out even better than I thought. So I actually saw this when Helen released her latest collection, and one of them was a wreath die. To see something when you're working with curved edges, you can do this freehand, but you know what, having a die to do this for you just makes life much easier. So I'll show you all that in a moment. I finished it with these stunning flowers that were actually made for me last year, and I've decided to use them on this. This is going to be for my nan, so I can't wait to start, you know, filling it with treats. You'll see inside and everything through the tutorial. It's a really strong, lovely, sturdy piece. So it's going to take some weight in this as well, because you can reinforce it lots of times. Got my little gift tag there, and I'm going to be making some more of these for Christmas and also for a baby shower, and I can see myself using these for birthdays as well. I think it's lovely. It's a nice depth as well. You can see the depth that you've got on the side there. It's about 1.5 inches. I didn't actually measure this. Let me just quickly do it. Yeah, 1.5 inches. So lots of space inside. So let me show you how to make it. So this is the die set. So it's the Christmas wreath box die set. You get 15 dies in this one. It says the largest die is 23.7 by 29.5 centimeters, but it does all fit through your standard die cutting machine, and that's what I use to cut all of this. So you don't need a big one. It might be worth having a extender plate, because some of these dies are obviously longer, but if you don't, just tape it down, run it through, and then shift it, and then run it through again, and then it will cut it all for you. But you get all these other little elements as well. So first of all, and this is what I'm using for the bow on top. So it's the ultimate gift bow. I think this one's still available. Again, I'll link both of these in the description box below the video. So first of all, you want this die here. So there's two that look very similar. This one's got the tab. This one's the matte lace. That's what you would use for your decorative paper. We'll use that one later. So first of all, I've die cut 4. You will be die cutting more, but I'm just going to do it bit by bit. So I've got 4 here. Now I'm using that Lidl cardstock, so this is a 280 GSM, but you do, once you add your pattern paper and you do reinforce it as well, it ends up becoming very strong. So I've cut them all out, the 4 there, and you can see you've got like it's not a score line because you're not folding this, but it is just slightly like tapered there. It's just notched in, just like you would when you're making your gift bags and boxes. You can see it just ever so slightly angles. That's where you want to be adding your glue each time. So I'm going to use the quick grab for all of this, because we're going to be using the Kalau later when we do all the larger surface areas. So I'm just going to add the glue just in that section. You'll see this much clearer when you've got it yourself. It might not come up so well on the video here. And then you just want to sit this perfectly over that point there. This is key to get lined up, because it's creating that circular shape, you know, for the top and the bottom. And what I'm doing here, we'll repeat for the base. I'll speed that bit up because you're seeing this one in real time. So again, I'm just going to add the glue all the way down there. I'm just lining up that straight side of the next piece, just so it sits perfectly over the top. And then with this one, we'll just slide the other one underneath. So hopefully this is all in shot. I've lifted my camera up slightly higher than usual, so hopefully you can see it all okay. So I'm going to pop this one down like so, and then I'm going to add the glue on top of this one, and then just lift that one up and just sit it. And yep, it does perfectly line up. So just spend a bit of time making sure each one sits and it all lines up top and bottom there. Okay, so this is going to be the lid. So you want to cut yourself 4 of these long strips. So you want to fold, there is a score line on this, got a bit of glue on there, but just fold all the teeth over and make sure all the teeth have gone over. You don't see any of the little cuts, and that way you won't see any of them once the box is together. And these ones here, I'm going to also put a curve in this. So just put them all back out again. Just put a nice curve in this. It's going to make it much easier for you to, you know, work this around the shape of the wreath there, because otherwise, yeah, it's just going to be all fiddly. So I just do that one and that one there. So these ones here are going to go like this. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue just on each of these, because these are going to get sandwiched together once we add the other pieces and the pattern paper and everything. So that's all going to look neat. So I'm just putting a little bead of glue on each one there, and I'm just going to, much easier when you curve the paper, but just line it up at one of the joins there, and I'm using the Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab, so I'm just going to pinch it down. Find a way that works for you, but once you've got that curve in, you can see it naturally falls into place, and the last one of the teeth lines up perfectly with that join there, and then you've got the overhang, which is where we'll attach the next one. So it really does hug it nicely. And then if I flip it over, I can just go in there and go in with your bone folder. Once you get used to it, it's actually really easy to do. And like I said, make sure those teeth are folded, because now you can see we can't see any of it when you can see, you know, looking at the side there. So the next one, where's my, so it's, it'll make sure I'm working the right way. If you keep this facing, all the teeth facing you, then you know you're always working on the right bit. So then I can grab the next one, and it'll be that flat end, whereas you can see this one's got the overhang. That's going to attach next to that one there. So I'm going to, again, add the glue to each of these, like so. And then I'm just going to add a bit of glue there. And then just sit that one down, get that one in place first. Once that's grabbed, again, I can just sit that. It just naturally falls around that curve. Make sure you push it right up to the edge there. Helen uses red tape as well, but she also says liquid glue is probably going to be easier. I prefer using liquid glue anyway, so for me this is going on quite nicely. But you can see there, once use a quick grab glue, it's going to make life much easier. And again, flip that over like so. Again, go back that way so you've got the teeth facing you. For me that works. I can work it out better in my head, so I can see now. Again, with the teeth facing up, it's going to go that way. So add the glue. I'm going to speed these two pieces up now, because you'll know what I'm doing here. And then that's the last piece there, so I'm just popping a bit of glue, and then I can just hold that up. Another tip Helen mentioned was make sure that this is nice and straight. So it's really, you know, these sides are straight up. They're not bowing in or going outwards. And I guess as long as you butt them right up to this, really push it in, then that's going to, you know, go that way anyway. So now I think I'm quite happy with how that's looking so far. Okay, so next we'll do the inside bit. I didn't actually show you the die. There it is there. You can see all the teeth. You then get the shorter one here. So you want to die cut 4 of those. Again, you will need more. I'm just breaking it all down. And these ones now are going to go in. In fact, I've just curled mine the wrong way. So you want to curl them so that you've got the arch, but then you've got the teeth sticking out the other way there. So I'm just going to go back and do mine the other way. So like we've got the teeth on the outside there, we want to do that again here. So they're going to go under like that. Again, pretty straightforward to do. Once you know, got the hang of this, like I'm going to be making a few more. So this is the first one that I'm putting together. So just lift that up, and because we put the curve into it, it's really easy. Again, you want to kind of line up with the joins. So I'm going to start with this little corner here. You've got your end with the tab, you've got your flat end, so I'm going to line up that flat end. This is so much easier doing the inside here, because you can just literally, you know, push against it with your fingers and push it down at the same time. So that's really easy. And then this next one is going to go, so it's the flat end, but now we've got the tab just as before. So this time you're going to put your glue just there and then pop that one in. Just make sure you're lining it up. Oh, I need to put the rest of the glue. Getting too excited then, too ahead of myself. So again, just a little bit, because that will all spread out. Just make sure that covers, and that will join. And push that down. Again, keeping this all nice and straight. As long as you've really butted that up, then it will be. I'm just going to burnish over all of those tabs. They're nice and secure. I think I've got that about right. Okay, so already I can feel that's really starting to strengthen. Now you want to cut another 4. So I've got a slightly different green here, and you're going to stick these right over the top. You'll see they completely cover up the teeth. Now I'm going to use the Calcott now because it's a large surface. This is going to really start to add the strength and be able to hold all the gifts that I put in. Now with this one, you actually want that to go underneath. I've got a little bit of glue over the top, but I'm hoping my pattern paper is going to, it should cover that, so I'm not too worried. Plus I've got my bow to go on, so it might just be that that ends up being the bottom. Yeah, that's going to be fine. I'm not worried actually. So now I can just go in and really push all that glue down and just give that a minute to secure itself. So I remember that this is my lid. I've gone and cut my pattern paper. So like I said, you've got the 2, you've got the one with the tab, and then you've got this one which is slightly smaller. That's the one you want to use. So now I'll bring in the bow because I've already made it up here. It's lovely, and I've got the little tails for it as well. I am going to have something, because I kind of laid it out, but it was hard to really see how it was going to look until it was together. Oh no, that was it. I was going to do one like that and then rotate. Yeah, you can't really see that glue there, and like I said, I think that's where I'll put the bow, but something like that. So these are, I mean, they're traditional Christmas colours, but red is also my nan's favourite colour, so I wanted to make sure obviously that was in it, but I think that looks quite cool. And then the bow is going to go maybe there, but then now thinking about it, I think I'd prefer to have maybe the bow really needs to be there actually, and then kind of, these are the tails, so they're gonna come down. I think I like that, and then there's going to be a gift tag on it as well. I think what I might do is flip it that way and then have the bow there, and although you probably can't really see it, but where that there is a slight shine from the glue, I'm going to have all this there, so you're not going to end up really seeing it. But I've got the other one there. I think I prefer that. Yeah, I think that's going to look really nice. And then there'll be a gift tag hanging off of it nearer the time. So I'm not going to stick the bow down yet, but I am going to get these all stuck down. So again, we've already got the Calcott in between those layers. I'm going to use it again now for here. And I think even though you're not going to see the base, I'm going to add just it's still a Christmas pattern paper, but I'm going to add pattern paper to the base as well. I might actually do it inside, and then that way you've got the same amount of strength as you've got on the lid, but obviously it's more needed on the base because you're going to have the gifts, treats and things like that in it. And because I'm going to be putting like her favourite hard-boiled sweets, so they've got a bit of weight to them. Werther's Originals, which she loves, they're heavy, so I'm going to add a few more layers to the base to give that its strength. But I'm just going to speed it up now and get the rest of these stuck down. Okay, so that's all stuck down. Also, I've tried to not use a directional paper. I know there's stripes there, but they still work. Although, yeah, they're kind of both in the same direction there. But this is non-directional, so it really didn't matter. But obviously, if you have got images or anything with writing on, make sure it is facing the right way. Because if you're going to have it hanging like that and you stuck it down, then it may be upside down. The papers I've used are from this one here, which is the Christmas design pad. And it's got that foil detail as well. It's the one that I used for the Advent calendar. Okay, so you would have just seen me put together another 4 of these pieces here. So the one with the tab. This is now going to be the base. So with the lid, we had everything, all the teeth were stuck on the outside and the inside pieces were stuck on the outside. This time, because this is going to be, the lid needs to go over this, all of these pieces need to sit and be stuck inside the circle. So like I said, the lid we stuck outside, this is inside, and by just shifting it in, it's going to mean that the lid will be able to fit on top and the inside pieces will stick inside here. So you're going to stick within your quarters again. Now I'm just thinking, yeah, I think it's going to be, so I was just thinking about joining all of that up first and working with one long piece. But so this time I'm sticking my glue or adding my glue to the outside, whereas before I went all the way in there. This time it's all on the outside. And I think I'm going to start with the flat edge there. So again, you've got the overhang there, the tab end, and I'm going to stick it, yeah, this will be inside. Although saying that, that's neater when they have all the git. I'm going to keep with this as the inside. So I'm going to stick this on here. So you want to get the first one, I'm butting it up to that join there. And you just want to make sure that you kind of get that one stuck in place. And then let's get a couple down. And I mean, you could use red tape here if you want, but I prefer just holding it just for a minute, just to let it kind of grab. I quite like working inside. Find a way that works for you. I know Helen's got her ways of doing it, but I actually just like kind of getting it down, and then I can just wiggle it a little bit until it's following the curve there, like so. Now she doesn't join each one up actually, I remember her saying, because you kind of want this to just slightly angle in. Again, it's just going to help the lid slide on, so just get it stuck down. But once we join them, I think that's when she was saying about, so if I was to join that now, you'd bring it in just slightly and just kind of angle it in. So I'm going to grab the next one, again, pop the glue all on the outside. Flat end, because that's now going to have the tab end, so stick that over so the teeth join up, and that kind of starts you off as well on where to sit it. But I kind of like working this way, so like I said, find a way that you prefer. I'm not too worried about the glue because it's all going to get covered up. So okay, so that's all down. So now I'm going to just pull this piece forward, pop the glue, and then she just says just bring it in slightly. And I don't want it too much, but I know what she means. Just have it sloped inwards, and then that one you'd slope inwards that way. You're still going to get obviously lots inside, but it's just going to definitely ensure that that lid goes on. So just bringing it in ever so slightly. And I guess if you wanted to, depending on the weight of the card you're using, you could cut some more of these strips but remove the teeth, maybe bring them in a little bit, and have decorative paper and use your Calcott glue again, and that would, you know, strengthen the sides depending on what you're putting on it. Again, I'm going to see how it goes with the presents in this, and I can always add that later. So, you know, there's lots of ways to reinforce this, and you know, if you just want it as a decorative wreath to actually have hanging on your wall and just cover it in paper flowers and all kinds of things, you could have it all year round, then you know, you can just seal it up. You don't need to do this. So what I'm going to do is just check that, oh yeah, it goes on perfectly. Yay. Okay, so now you want to cut 4 of these ones. So I just started putting a curve in them, and I'm just going to, which way is this going to go, because it's going to be opposite. So that's the curve, so the teeth are going to come out this way. So again, I'll start off with the first 2, so just a bit of glue on the outside. Let's choose one of the segments to start with, and I want to start with the flat end. And again, just going to, you can kind of do this all, you know, just, you know, with both hands, but you can push down on all of the teeth at the same time, like so. And then again, the flat end, which is going to go over that next tab. As long as you're working within each segment a quarter, then you know you've got it all, you know, where it needs to be. But it is really easy to do. I'll say that. It's obviously a little bit fiddly, but once you get the right glue, get that quick grab, and it's going to be a lifesaver. I think I prefer it to red tape, because the thing with red tape, as great as it is, once you've stuck it, if you've got it wrong, you know, trying to rip that up sometimes is a nightmare, and it will end up ruining your card. So yeah, so just make sure, and also check you've got enough card, because I've given you all the kind of pieces you need to cut bit by bit. I didn't give you like total amounts. So, you know, watch the video, maybe write down everything, and then go and choose your card stock. But you could have a different colour base to the lid, and you might not be doing yours for Christmas. I'm just going to finish that last one. Okay, and then again, I think I overlapped that one a bit too much. It doesn't matter, they will, as long as you've, you know, joined it all round. But this one's got a lot more overhanging, as maybe that one has. But again, I'm just going to put my glue in there, and just when you stick it, just kind of get it, yeah, so it needs to be in that way. So we're actually coming out a bit. I'm hoping I've got enough to join that one. Yeah, just going to do it. So that's a lesson learned for me there. Just make sure. In fact, I'm just going to join that one as normal, and just make sure all the others are angled in. I'm not worried that that's not going to, you know, allow me to put the lid on. Yeah, definitely overlapped a bit too much there, but that's fine. Just try and pull that in. Just test that with my lid. Yeah, in fact, it's nice and snug. You can hear it when it goes on. Yay, it's nice, like I said, nice and strong. Okay, so then I've cut myself 4 more pieces again, and these are going to go inside here. I'm hoping, mind you though, that's then going to push it out. Because I'd like to decorate. So what I might do, I'm going to leave it, what I'm going to do is flip it over, and I'm just going to stick these on here because I want to reinforce it. And then, just to tidy that up, I will cut that in pattern paper, and that's going to then go over the teeth. So use the matte layer to decorate inside. I'm going to do that later because I'm running out of hours in today. So, but I am going to stick those over, yeah, because that's just going to reinforce it. Because like I said, I've got a lot of treats that are going in here. Okay, so I've stuck all that down, so that's all drying. Now, I didn't see Helen use these in her video, but I believe they are dividers, and I think she did say that. So I'm guessing this is what you do with them. So I've die cut 4 because I want to get these down, and again, I'm going to put that pattern paper. But I think they just go on there, but I'm worried they might push out the sides, but hopefully not. So I've done 3 already. And then I've got this one. But what I did find, there's a score line there, but I think you have to snip down there. That's what I've done anyway. So Helen, if you see this, apologies if I've done it wrong. But just snip up there. You see there's 2 little score lines. And then that allows you to fold it in half. I've then folded all of these out. Okay, so you've got something like that. And then I've put, again, the collal in there. But what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to test, just leave that something on top. So I'm just going to sit these around like 4. It really does strengthen it just, I mean, yeah, if again, you can't feel this, but it really does give it strength. But I'm going to have obviously 4 of them for each quarter, but I'm just checking it's not going to make the lid more difficult to put on. No, it doesn't. Actually, it really does strengthen it. You can really feel a nice like firmness around the sides there, so that's good. So let me just take that back off. What I'm going to do is use the quick grab. So I'm going to add it there, there, all down those sides. Again, not too worried about the glue because I'm going to cover with the pattern paper, but I'm just lining it up with that join, and you can just push everything together. But the wall there's got the strength because it's got the Calcott glue, and then that just, yeah, it's not going to bow or anything. So I think definitely, even if you just use 2, one opposite each other, then it's really going to make a difference, strengthening the sides of that. Again, just lining it up over that join. Okay, so everything is now in place, and I was just going through my Christmas box and I'd forgotten that a lovely friend of mine made these for me, but I received it after Christmas last year, and I said to her, wow, they are amazing. I will be using these on some of my 3D projects. So she's actually made me 2 bags. I'm not going to use them all. There's actually a larger one in here. Now, again, my nan loves red, but how amazing do these look on here? Some of the little balls have fallen off, but that's okay. But I'm just thinking now, I love the bow, but I just think I just want to cover it with these. We'll just have like a cluster at the, just getting some of the glue strings off there. They've got a little bit to the ends there, so I'm just pulling them out, but because it's paper, it's really easy to, but just kind of build a few up, like with a large one, and then maybe some smaller ones, something like that. Oh, my nan is she's gonna freak out. She'll see it under the tree first, and she'll be like, oh, that's special, I wonder who that's for. And I might just leave it there and like give it to her last. So I'm gonna have those ones there, and then maybe in this corner have another 3. She made these as well. They look like origami flowers, so I imagine you could look online to see how these are made, but they're beautiful. I might have a look myself, or just ask her actually. But you can see where I'm kind of going with this. Let me know what you think. Were you more going for the bow, or do you like these? I'm definitely going with these just because they're beautiful, and also I know my nan is going to adore these. But I think 3 down there, 3 down there, although where's that glue? There's that glue. Like I said, you probably can't see that, but there we go. See what happens when you can hide all this stuff. And then I've got a tag here, so I wanted to kind of have that like so. I think it's going to be something like that. Again, hopefully it's all in shot. I haven't been checking through the video, but I've got some, I'll get some twine for that. I think I'm going to keep the bow for something else, because I think it's a bit much with the bow and that, although you can never have too much, I say, at Christmas time. But yeah, I just think that gets lost, as beautiful as it is. And I have tutorials showing you how to make this and lots of other bows, so I'll link that if I haven't already. But I think I'm just going to get those 3 there and 3 up there stuck down and get that tag, and then I've got those to use on another project. So I'm just tying my tag just underneath that flower there, so you can't see any of it, but it's still kind of hanging. I can just snip that away. I can just flip that over, and I can write on the back there But I am so pleased with that. These flowers have just finished this off perfectly. Yeah, super pleased with that. Just need to add the pattern paper inside, but I'll do that nearer the time. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial showing you how to use the wreath dies by Simply Made Crafts. I love this, and I'm going to be making some more for Christmas, but I'm also going to use it for a baby shower gift. I'm going to cover it with baby pattern papers, and it's going to be great for birthdays as well. It's just going to be such a handy one, and having the dies already in those shapes just makes working with a curve, you know, project shape or you know, box much easier. So yeah, hope you like it. I almost want to go and hang this on the wall now. Anyway, I'm going to go. As always, I will link everything in the description box below. Check out a couple of other tutorials that are popping up now, more 3D crafts that you might want to watch next. And I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.